In today's video, I'll talk about 4 different investment withdrawal strategies, and I will discuss the benefits and downsides of each. When planning for retirement withdrawals, there are 2 key uncertainties. First is the length of your lifespan for which you will need to withdraw the money, and the second is the future returns of your portfolio. So choosing the right withdrawal strategy is very important because it will ensure that you have sufficient funds throughout your retirement, and it will also help you plan and meet all of your living expenses. With that said, let us get started. My name is Kanak and welcome back to my channel. For more such content from the world of finance and investing, subscribe to my channel. Alright, I'll start with the simplest withdrawal strategies and then move on to 3 other strategies, each increasing in complexity. The first and simplest withdrawal strategy is the fixed dollar withdrawal strategy. This means you withdraw a fixed amount each year from your portfolio. For example, if you have an investment corpus of $1 million, you might decide to withdraw $40,000 in the first year, which is about 4% of your portfolio. You will then continue to withdraw $40,000 each year for the next few years before reassessing your withdrawal amount. While this strategy is very simple to execute and can help you easily plan and budget your expenses, it has significant drawbacks. The biggest drawback is that it does not account for inflation. As your cost of living increases each year due to inflation, withdrawing the same amount each year might not cover your living expenses and might force you to cut down on your spending. Another downside is that the withdrawal amount is anchored to the year of your retirement and does not adjust for the stock market performance. If you retire when the stock market is at its peak, your withdrawal amount will be based on that high value. However, if the market underperforms in the next few years, your constant withdrawals in a down market can deplete your portfolio sooner than expected, potentially leaving you without sufficient funds for the rest of your retirement. So this brings us to our next withdrawal strategy, which is the dollar plus inflation strategy, also known as the 4% withdrawal rule. Here is how this strategy works. Let us say you have an investment corpus of $1 million with 60% in stocks and 40% in bonds. In the first year of your retirement, you will withdraw 4% or $40,000 from your portfolio. Then in the second year, you will adjust your withdrawal based on the inflation rate. If the inflation rate is 3%, you will increase your withdrawal by 3%, meaning you will withdraw $41,200 in the second year. In the third year, if the inflation rate is 2%, you will increase the previous year's withdrawal of $41,200 by 2% to $42,024. Essentially, you will increase your withdrawal amount by the inflation rate each year. This strategy ensures that your withdrawals adjust for the increase in your cost of living each year, so you won't need to cut back on your budgeted expenses. Additionally, this strategy is relatively simple to implement, as you only need to increase your withdrawal amount by the inflation rate each year. However, the biggest downside of this strategy is that the 4% withdrawal amount is anchored to the first year, which might be when the stock market is at its peak and your portfolio is at its highest value. If the stock market underperforms in the subsequent year and you continue to increase your withdrawals by the inflation rate, you risk depleting your investment portfolio. Another drawback is that if the inflation rate is significantly high in a given year, such as 8% in 2022, your withdrawal amount could increase substantially, again risking the depletion of your investment portfolio. To mitigate the risk, you can set an upper limit on the increase in your withdrawal amount. For example, you could set a cap at 5%, meaning you will only increase your withdrawals by a maximum of 5%, even if the inflation is higher. This will protect your investment portfolio from excessive withdrawals, but might require some spending cuts. With that said, let us now talk about our third withdrawal strategy, the fixed percentage withdrawal strategy. For an investment portfolio of $1 million, you will withdraw 4% each year regardless of the portfolio's performance. In the first year, you will withdraw $40,000 from $1 million portfolio. If the portfolio decreases to $900,000 in the second year, you will withdraw $36,000. But if the portfolio increases to $1.2 million in the third year, you will withdraw $48,000. Apart from its simplicity, the main advantage of this strategy is that your withdrawal automatically adjusts based on the market performance. When the market underperforms, you withdraw less. When it performs well, you withdraw more. Because this is a percentage-based strategy, it reduces the risk of depleting your investment portfolio, allowing you to potentially withdraw the funds for the rest of your life. Historically, the stock market has ended higher on 2 out of every 3 years. Therefore, in 2 out of every 3 years, you are likely to experience an increase in your withdrawal amount. However, in the years when the market underperforms, your withdrawal amount will decrease, which may force you to cut down on your spending. So the biggest drawback of this strategy is the unpredictable nature of the withdrawal amount, which can result in significant spending cuts during the year when your portfolio does not perform well. This strategy is excellent for sustaining your investments over a long period, but is more suitable for retirees who are not solely dependent on the withdrawal income and have a higher risk tolerance. This strategy requires you to be flexible in your spending and have other sources of income such as pension or social security to cover for your living expenses in the years when the stock market is down. To avoid these downsides and bring predictability along with peace of mind, we have the fourth withdrawal strategy called the bucket strategy. According to the bucket strategy, you divide your investments into 3 buckets. The first bucket is the short-term bucket, where you keep cash in savings account or money market account to cover for 1 to 3 years of your living expenses. The second bucket is the medium-term bucket, where you invest in medium-term bonds to cover for living expenses from year 3 up to year 10. The third bucket is the long-term bucket, where you invest the remaining amount in the stock market. As you consume money from your short-term and medium-term buckets, your long-term bucket, which is the stocks, get a chance to grow. You can replenish the short-term and the medium-term buckets from your stock portfolio during the years when the stock market performs well. This strategy protects you from selling stock investments when the market is down and provides time for the stock portfolio to grow. Let us understand this through a simple example. Let us say you have $1 million in savings and your annual living expenses is $40,000. Now you can allocate the funds as follows. Put about 3 years of your living expenses or $120,000 in a high yield savings account or money market account. Invest about 7 years of your living expenses or $280,000 in 3-year US government treasury notes. Finally, invest the remaining $600,000 in the total US stock market index fund such as VTI, which is a low cost index fund that invests in all stocks listed on the US stock exchange. As you consume the cash, your stock investment grows and you can replenish your cash bucket in the years when the stock market performs well. The bucket strategy provides significant psychological comfort by letting you know exactly how much money you have available to spend without worrying about the market fluctuations. It offers predictability and a structured approach to withdrawals and spending. However, despite these benefits, there is still a risk of running out of money. This risk increases if you make a very conservative allocation with a higher portion in cash and bonds, or if your withdrawals are too high relative to your investment corpus. Therefore, your allocations for bucket strategy should depend on your investment corpus and the duration of your planned withdrawals. If you're retiring early, you should either have a large investment corpus or a higher stock allocation or both to sustain your living expenses throughout your retirement. Additionally, this strategy can be complex to implement because it can be challenging to determine when to sell the stocks and when to replenish the cash bucket. Furthermore, there is no automated solution for this withdrawal strategy. That's all for this video, and if you find this video helpful, then hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.